So we are broadcasting live from the Doss House here in front of the Green Building Resource Center, the Pavilion here, and we're speaking with Meredith Marsh, and she's the program coordinator with the Doss House. Man, what a great day. Thanks for having us out here, Meredith, and we're really enjoying this, and what a great pavilion, well-built, excellent process here to tour you through, and boy, the engineering and technology in this pavilion is just remarkable.
It is. Meredith, Germany is known as the foundation of passive house. This is not something we hear a lot about in Houston, but the home of super insulated walls, super insulated windows. It gets kind of cold in Germany, right?
It does get pretty cold.
It gets cold in Germany. It can get hot and cold here. But anyway, there's a lot of passive house things built into the pavilion. And so let's just talk a little bit about them. Looking in front of us, we've got some cross-sections, or not just cross-sections. We have entire walls that are kind of opened up where you can see how these walls are built. Tell us a little bit about some of the technology that's in these wall systems.
Sure. Well, like you mentioned, the passive house standard did originate in Germany. In our room here, we are an open air pavilion, but we also have an enclosed room that you can go into, and then you can actually feel what this is like. In case you haven't had the chance to check out a passive house in the U.S., there aren't as many of them, but they've been doing this in Germany for decades, so we've got that as well if you want to step in and just check out what that's like. And basically what we're talking about is super insulated buildings, so buildings really geared towards the best energy efficiency you can get. And one of the products that we're using to do that is what's called a vacuum insulation panel, and that's actually an insulation material that I'm not sure we're as familiar with here in the U.S. Basically, how this works is it's a panel that curbs the three forms of heat transfer. So just to run you through that, basically it's a panel that has a core material. It can be a gel or a foam. Ours are actually a clay-based material that can be recycled once the panel is at the end of its life. And basically that's shrink wrapped and vacuum packed inside of a reflective barrier, sort of like a shiny metal, reflective barrier membrane. And then inside, because there's actually no air, you're not going to get convection or conduction. There's no air to actually move the heat through the panel that way. And we're getting really great R values with this. I was talking about this with you before, Dennis, but depending on the panel, it can be up to R20 or R30 per inch, which is pretty remarkable.
Now, contrast that with the best materials that we have currently available is an R value of 6.5 per inch. So, the things that you can buy that we normally build houses out of here. So if you need something where you need a really thin, super insulated wall, these are materials that would work for you.
Exactly. And this is something that they were using on the solar decathlon houses. It's also something we've got here because we're looking for a really well-insulated wall, but instead of having a building with a couple foot thick walls like you might do if you were building a house this way, we've got a mobile pavilion. And just to kind of visualize that for you, everything in the whole pavilion it breaks down and it moves on big trucks. It gets picked up with a crane. So these are like really containers that we're moving everything around in. It's actually a construction process. It takes about 3 days to put it up and about 4 days to take it down. So we don't really have the luxury of super thick walls, but we are trying to get really good insulation value. So that's the insulation material that we're using in our room.
And so you've got a room that's built out of these materials. You've got super insulated walls. And you've also got some really good windows. Tell us a little bit about the windows.
We've got some great windows, actually triple pane windows, and I know in the U.S. Maybe not many people have seen those before, but basically, as you can picture it, just 3 panes of glass, and then in the 2 voids that we create there, we've got argon 90 gas, which is a stable isotope of the gas, and it has a high resistance to thermal conductivity. So it's basically a way to insulate the window. And then we've also got a low E coating on that to kind of keep some of the heat out. And then in the frame of the window, we've got cork insulation with oak frames, and that's the windows in our room.
So a little bit different type of windows. These are not the kind that you normally buy at the big box store or even from Wonderful Windows, Gary. This is not, these are
very different.
These are a very different type of technology, but it's something quite different to see. You've also got one of the things I noticed in the room as you go through the room, very quiet. Extremely quiet. It was kind of amazing because there's quite a bit of background noise around us here, Gary. We had a train come by a little bit earlier.
Traffic from 45
right
here downtown Houston.
Right.
Yeah, you don't hear any of that in that room. Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's one of the great things too when we're talking about super insulation. It's not only keeping the air inside nice and cool during a hot summer's day, but making it quiet as well. So just some of the the day-to-day comfort of living in that space, all the other background noise wherever you are. It's going to be nice and quiet in there.
So you've also got some lighting here that I'm looking at. And right in front of us, you got some solar-powered LED lighting.
Yes, we do.
And this is not your typical can lights.
This is not your typical can light, although, so it is LEDs. There's actually 6 LEDs located in what otherwise looks pretty much like a typical can light. And that is solar powered. And then actually inside of our room as well, we've got a bigger unit that's LED panels. So essentially 16 smaller panels of LEDs that are affixed up into a light box. And that's motion activated. So when we walk in the room, they're turning on. So we're not wasting the energy when we're not in there. And those are going to be really great too, because definitely using a lot less energy, but the color quality and the temperature value of the light is actually, it's a lot more like natural daylight. So it's a little bright today, you can't really see it, but if you come by a little bit later in the evening when it starts to get a bit darker, that it's a really beautiful light quality in there. It's a really nice high quality light, and then the LEDs are they run a lot cooler than especially an incandescent bulb, and really efficiently.
And then you got some high-tech German appliances. This is not your typical coffee maker.
This is not your typical coffee maker. Yeah, we've got some like a small kitchenette in the room as well. So we've got a refrigerator and a coffee machine and a sink there to sort of show show what it might be like in a real home. It's just a small room. It's not a real house. A really great energy efficient coffee machine that it's probably the easiest to use that I've ever seen.
And Meredith, what you have some displays here as well in the pavilion. We're sitting next to those as well right now. Tell me just briefly what is in each one of these displays.
So basically, too, the pavilion technology that travels around in the house, we've also got, in addition to that, some display cases down the center that allow us to change in and out some displays that aren't actually technologies included in the house, but some other great German products that are really efficient. So we've got one is a solar panel that company we're talking about with the production in Dublin, Georgia. We've got an example of their panel, and then we also have some commercial grade curtain wall glass systems. And then we also have a really great in the realm of energy efficiency and insulation. We've got a great insulation system for more commercial applications, but when you have a building or with a balcony coming out from the side there, with really great windows, really great insulation, anytime you're punching a hole in the building, that's your weakest link, and a lot of times the balconies get ignored, and you're going to lose a lot of heat right out through that slab. So we've also got a pretty great product too that showcases that.
Okay, Meredith Marsh, she is a project coordinator for the Doll's House. Doll's House is traveling to multiple cities, United States and Canada as well.
Sure. So we started off in Atlanta last month. We'll be in Houston through Thursday.
Okay, through Thursday.
Through Thursday.
10 to 6. Okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Yes, 10 to 6.
Okay.
And you can come on down anytime during that because we will be here giving tours. And then next year, you want me to just rattle them all off?
Yeah, just rattle them all off.
All right. Phoenix, San Francisco, Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal, Boston, New York City, Washington, D.C., hometown Chicago, and Denver, Colorado.
A lot of travel miles there.
A lot of travel miles.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are broadcasting live from the Doss House. If you want more information about the Doss House, it's DASHAUS tour.com. Now, there's a schedule of events for the next few days here that's going to be held at the Green Building Resource Center at the DossHouseTour.com website. So go on there. You can register for those events as well. They're all zero. Net zero, we call
Net
them.
zero to your pocketbook.
Net zero to your pocketbook, and you can come down and attend those events. You don't have to be, just anybody could come.
Yep,
right?
free, open to the public. I mean, anyone who's interested. And just to rehash again, we've got our Net Zero Conference is happening Tuesday morning from 9 to lunchtime. We'll have lunch provided with that. And then Wednesday at 3 in the afternoon, we have a visitor program with AIA in the class of 2030. And then 6 p.m. on Wednesday, November 16th, will be our last event for the tour here in Houston, and that's going to be with the U.S. Green Building Council's Emerging Professionals Program.
Okay. The Green Building Resource Center is located at 1002 Washington Avenue here near downtown Houston. It's the permitting center for the city of Houston here. And they've got all these great events. Go to DASHAUS tour.com. You can get all the information. You can register for the events. You can come down, and either Meredith or one of her assistants will take you through the tour of the pavilion here. It's worth coming down and taking a look. And it's only here for a few more days, so you're going to have to get down pretty soon and take a look at this great pavilion with a lot of great technology. very innovative stuff. I'm sure that incorporation will be, a lot of people will be trying to incorporate a lot of these technologies.
And if you come down next week, Monday through Thursday of next week, you can not only visit the pavilion and check out everything that's here, but you can see the brand new Green Building Resource Center. The City of Houston has that available. A lot of things to see in there.
Oh, there's a lot of great things to see in the Green Building Resource Center. Steve Celsor would take you on a tour there.
Right.
He'd love to do that. He's the program director here at the Green Building Resource Center. So a lot of great things here. Downtown Houston, 1002 Washington Avenue, and we sure appreciate, Meredith, you having us out here today. We've had a great time with you. You've done a great job here of giving us a tour and helping us to learn what technology is available to us so we can continue to educate our 30 Green listening audience here.
Thank you very much for coming down, and it was great having you. It's great being on the show.
Okay, Meredith Marsh, program coordinator for the Doss House, DASHAUS tour.com. Go on there, register for these events next week. Come down, take the tour, check it out. It's worth it. Here only until Thursday. We'll be back next week.